When I was 17, well, my mom.
Welcome back to the secret room. Today we have a gossip, which I feel like it's more like a vent or secret about something that happened to who I think is a guy when he was 17. So let's listen to a story. When I was a teen, like 17, my mother cheated on my father with a few men. Among them was two of my guy friends, one 18 and the other 19. Yes, my mom two of my friends. Mind you, the guys didn't know she was my mother, and one told me in details his feeling with my mom, and I had to awkwardly explain to him that I didn't want to know this information. Now, this happened like 5 years ago, and my mother doesn't know I know a little expeditions. Please help. I just want to start by saying everything that happened isn't your fault. You weren't the one who went out of the way to potentially put the family in a rough situation. Do not blame yourself for what your mom did, because if she knew those were your friends, I think the selfishness in that is so high that I wonder how she treats you normally. Now, given that you said she doesn't know that you know her secret basically, I'm going to assume she doesn't know it's your friends. But regardless, that's not a good place to be in. Now, there's only three things that can happen. Option one, you can tell your father, and that's not only devastating to you, but it's probably going to destroy his worldview. Option two is to confront your mother, which clearly it's a conversation that is very uncomfortable to have, and it actually still blows up the family anyway. And option three, which I think you've been doing, is staying silent, which of course is very uncomfortable to keep because of the weight and the burden of all of that. And those are the three actions that you can take. If you hadn't told your friends that she was your mom, at least they don't know, and maybe that gives a little bit of peace. You know, I've never heard of this so closely for me to wrap my hand around it. But one thing I can say is, hopefully this doesn't affect your relationships, the way you see people, and all of that in between. But regardless of if you've taken any of these paths before, I think the best way out is actually find some professional help before you can make any of the decisions, except you don't want to, even if it's counseling. But if you tell any close person, there's just a risk of it going back around. Maybe someone tells someone else, and then you don't know when the cat's out of the bag. And there's no use bottling it up too, because it's just going to manifest itself in some way, like I said, either through relationships, through your how you talk with your mom, your family, and all of that in between. And if you also want to go no contact, that's up to you. Thank you for sharing this message. I hope that was really helpful, and hope everything gets better. Take your time, put yourself first, and yeah, hope you all have a very great week.